Okay. Turn me up a little bit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome back to the meat stall, and I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me for a little bit today. Today, what we're going to be doing, some pork shoulder. Now, this pork shoulder, I'm doing this in a collaboration with Thiron over there at TNT BBQ. We're both going to be using my product, which is meat sprinkles and meat frosting. And you can find those products on the website at www.meatstallbarbecue.com. But first, let's get into opening this up, and then we're gonna talk about the various muscles of this pork butt. This is like a 9.34 pound pork butt. And I like to get the bigger ones because the bigger ones have the bigger money muscle. Now, if you're just cooking this for a backyard boogie, there's no need to worry about the size of the money muscle or what have you. But if you're doing a competition cook, you want to make sure you can maximize that money muscle. And this money muscle is what gets you paid. When you open it up, you want to make sure everything smells good. It's not no funky smell to it. I always like to rinse my meat off. Not necessarily wash it, but I just like rinse it off when it comes out of the crowd back pack. The three muscles that I'm concerned with today is the money muscle, which is I'm gonna trim out this little section here and come out just behind the money muscle to pronounce it. I'm going to take the fat cap off the top here. The next group of muscles that I'm gonna be searching for is what you're gonna call your tubes. And if you look right here, just behind the money muscles, on the back side where you got your scapula, I think I said that right. Inside here, you got your horn meat. It's a meat that's next to the bone. They said what, meat is sweeter next to the bone? That's what they say, so. But you can really see it right here. It's right here. That's another preferred piece right there next to the bone. I'll take this fat off so we can get down to this money muscle so we can get it pronounced. Now, if you, like I said, if you're doing a backyard boogie, you ain't got to do this. You can just take it out the pack and you in business. But I want to make this look not a full competition trim, but we're just going to talk about it just a little bit. You want to be careful, try to get as less meat as you can and mostly your fat. But I'm probably going to end up taking most of all this fat cap off. Okay, now we're going to go just behind this money muscle, and we're gonna make a cut. So we can get bark pretty much all the way around this money muscle, but we're not gonna cut it all the way off. We'll come in right here. Now this here, we're gonna save this, because we're gonna use this. I'm gonna be making some sausages here in a video here in a little bit, and we're gonna save this. But for right now, we're gonna let it go. And you see, you got your money muscle right here. It's still attached, but it's defined so we can get some. Be careful not to go all the way through. So we got it right here, and it's really defined right here. Now I'm just gonna take it and take some of this silver skin. Take some of this silver skin off. Just go right underneath and work your knife. Less is more. Let's flip it over and take a look at it. Let's clean this up just a little bit more. Got a pretty good sized money muscle here on this thing, so I'm gonna expose all of it as I can. I think that's good right there. We got that money muscle exposed. Next, you want to take your pork butt and you want to kind of level it off. But I want you guys to look at this fat right here. You see all this here inside of this fat seam here? As I pull this open, this is the fat. Or have you ever had a pork butt, a pulled pork sandwich, and you get a mouthful of that fat? This right here will not render. This is not gonna render at all. So what we're gonna do is just follow this fat seam right here, and we're gonna open this up. And also this offers me a way to put more rub in here. So we're gonna lay this open just like this. This little fat right here, we're gonna get rid of this. That's trash. This right here is not gonna taste good. So you wanna stick it under just underneath here, work it, work your knife, and we're gonna take that off. All the way. Now you can take it off after you cook, but for this cook right here, I'm taking it off now. We clean this off this horn. Don't be scared of your meat. It's already dead. Then we're gonna work on this side here. Like I said, this compilation, this collaboration is done with TNT. So go over there and check out and see what good stuff he's doing over there on that pork, but he's doing over there in Iowa. And get all this fat off. As much of it as we can. Because that fat is not gonna render, and you're gonna end up having to pull it out at the end of your cook. So a little bit of fat up in here. I wanna get it up out of here. All right, I pretty much like that right there. And I'm just gonna lay this flap back like that. You know, and any other little pieces that's hanging off, trim those. I'm satisfied with the money muscle right here. All right, there you got it. I'm gonna make a little injection, 2 parts injection. I'm gonna go with a cup of apple juice. I may not be able to get all in here, but I'm gonna try to. And a cup of apple cider vinegar. Go with a little bit of 50-50 salt and pepper. Trying to hit it. Crump up. Crump up. Get in these tubes. Got a little squirter. I'm not too concerned about getting a lot of injection in this thing because it has a lot of intramuscular fat. Like I said, pork bucks are very forgiving. And that's all I'm gonna do with that right there. I'm gonna season this with my own special seasons. This is my meat sprinkles, barbecue rub. And we're gonna go on this pretty liberally. I'm gonna start with the money muscle. We're gonna cover it because we wanna get that good bark all the way around that sucker. Next, we're gonna get the area where we got the tubes in and the loin. And I'm in it pretty heavy too. It's gonna have some awesome color, flavor with this meat frosting. Don't be scared when you putting it on here, because this is a big piece of meat. It can handle it. And also, usually when you do a pork butt, you have to re-season it anyway. So I'm gonna put this on this rack right here. So it's on. And we're gonna season the other side. Smells awesome. Make sure you get all coverage, all sides. Remember I told you this right here, where we got all that, see that horn sitting right there? And we got all that fat and sinew off that, we're gonna go up in there. Now normally, when you do a pork butt, you don't get a chance to get off in there. But since we got up in there and we cut it and we moved all that fat off, we're able to get up in there with some seasoning. Look at the amazing color that it put on it. And there you go. You got your pork butt right there. I'm gonna go out there and get the tailgater fired up. I think we're gonna cook this thing at 250. We're gonna be using some Pit Boss competition pellets. And we're gonna make it do what it do. All right, it's been probably about 2 hours. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit. I'm gonna go in with this little mop that I made. It's gonna put an awesome red color on it. It's gonna moisten my meat. Usually I make my own mop, but today I kind of cheated a little bit. I got this Georgia special blend
barbecue sauce that I got in the mail from North Carolina, and then I added a little bit of apple cider vinegar to thin it out. So that's what we got going on with it. And look at the color on that thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna cut through this money muscle right here, and I'm gonna take this off because my money muscle was cooking a little faster than my actually rest of my pork butt, and I had it 2 probes inside of here, and this here was reading at 190 something, about 195. So I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna let that rest. And I'm gonna take this right here, put a probe back in, and I'm gonna go back into my oven. The reason why I had to go in my oven because my Traeger was acting goofy all day long. I was having 50-degree swings, and it was taking forever for my pork butt to get cooked. I didn't feel like bringing out my big Traeger to finish this off, so I said, you know what? This thing's been on here for a while. It's got the bark, it got the color, and you can see it's got the smoke ring. It got what I need. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it and put it in the oven. So I'm gonna put this back in the oven till this comes up to probably about 195. I'm gonna take it out the juice, let it rest, and then we'll pull it apart. All right, well, I got my money muscle detached, and this here is cooked perfectly. I didn't bring it up to 205. I brought it to like 195. And I'm gonna go on with my meat frosting. This is my meat frosting regular. And I'm gonna let the heat of the meat set the sauce. Said this is not competition, so I'm not really worried about our brush strokes, but we're gonna go ahead and glaze this bad boy and get it looking nice and pretty. I took it out the oven. You can see the bone is ready to pull right out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it cool a little bit, but I'm gonna glaze it with some of this meat frosting. I'm gonna let the heat, once again, from the pork butt set the sauce. And then once it cools, we'll go ahead and break it up, and then we'll re-season it with some of this juice and some of the mop sauce that we have. It's amazing bark. Smells delicious. This thing is cooled enough that we can work with it. I'm gonna set this money muscle to the side, and we're gonna go in right here. And I cooked it to 195 internal temp. So let's just get the pulling pieces off of here. I got some strands. I got the money muscle. It's cut right here. We got some bark from the horn, and I prepared some chop, and I put a little bit of the mop sauce on it. I still have a lot of pork over here that I'm gonna chop up off camera. But all in all, this was a great cook. This was a collaboration with Thyron over at TNT barbecue. All right, everybody, this has been the Meat Stall. Find you some meat and smoke it.
Okay. Turn me up a little bit.